Bloodline Sports. Anything and everything sports talk between family. After all, it's all relative. All right. This is Bloodline Sports, Season 2, Episode 1. We're back, my friend.
Yes, we are.
And we are back, not only back on Spotify, but now we are
on YouTube now.
On YouTube. So, we are also on YouTube as well. We're going to continue to do our thing on Spotify. And as always, we're going to bring you a little bit of sports talk of anything and everything, which is what we do here. For you new guys tuning in into our YouTube channel, I am the Juice. This is
the DOS Man.
The DOS Man. And I am his dad. He is my son. And this is a sports talk show between family where we'll discuss anything and everything sports talk because it's all relative.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, our first show. Are you excited to be on YouTube now?
Oh, yeah. Definitely excited. This is what I wanted to do from the very beginning.
Yeah, but we started on Spotify, and now we have moved on to the video platform. So we hope you enjoy it. If you like our content, hit the subscribe button at the bottom.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Yes. And then as well, we will also have a Facebook page at some point. And what we want to do is we want to hear your comments or see your comments on Facebook. We also want to see them on YouTube. Any questions that you have, any topics that you want us to talk about, just anything in general, let us know. We'll address that. If you just want to want us to give you a shout out, we will. And as a matter of fact, you have a couple of friends in your school that you hang out with, you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah.
All right. Who are they?
All right. So, I'm going to shout out my good friends, Cody, Bennett, oh gosh, who else? Cody, Bennett.
You're not very prepared.
No, I'm not prepared.
Elijah, maybe?
Yeah. Cody, Bennett, Elijah, Frederick is the real name is Elijah, but that's just a nickname I've had for him.
Okay.
And a few others. So yeah.
All right. Well, whoever the few others are, he'll make sure that he gives you a shout out next time. He's a little nervous because this is our first time being on YouTube. Yep. All right, man. So we've been gone for a little while. We've been gone for about 6 months. We have some things happening in our lives that kind of brought the show to a stop. We did 14 episodes in season 1. So we're ready to kick off season 2. And this is episode 1. As always, we will try to name these episodes as we go. There's always something in the show that I will take and name that episode after. So why don't you tell us a little bit why we have been gone for 6 months?
Well, I think the main reason why we've been gone is probably because I had a football season going on.
You did. You did.
So, yeah.
This was your very first year of playing actual tackle football.
Yeah. You
had played flag football before?
Yeah.
Actually won a state championship in flag football.
Back in 2019.
2019.
Only lost one game all year.
Yep. And this was with a team called?
The Seminoles.
The Seminoles. So this was back when we were in Stephenville, Texas. You played for the Seminoles. Coach Mitch took you guys all the way to the state game, and you ended up winning.
Yep.
And very proud of you for that. Very proud of the guys when they won the championship. You had a lot of good players on that team, but you guys did something that a lot of people get to do. And then after that, 6th grade came. You didn't want to play. And then 7th grade came. You didn't want to play.
Well, I didn't have anything in 6th grade. So.
Well, yeah, that's right. My bad. I mean, there was no football in 6th grade.
Moved here to our new town, so.
Yeah, and then 7th grade came along, and I said, "Are you going to play football?" And you said, "No." And then 8th grade comes along, and you decided to play football.
Yeah, I did.
So what was your experience like this past year?
It was pretty good. I got to enjoy going out there like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning every day, pretty much.
Yep.
I'm getting out there doing all those drills and stuff. I liked it a lot. And then, of course, I like traveling to our games and having our games here. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of fun watching you play here at Indian Stadium here in Tuscola for the GymNet Indians. Went to a couple of games out of town. Your very last game, I had to scramble because I had a conference here in Abilene that I was actually running myself. And then after that, we had to rush all the way up to Vernon, Texas, which is about 2.5 hours away. That was your last game out of town. And was that your last game?
No, we had one more game after that.
You had one more game after that. Was it Iowa Park?
Yes, Iowa Park was our last game.
Yeah. So, and then season over?
Yeah.
Thoughts overall?
Liked it.
Did you?
Yeah, I liked it. Since it was my first year, some guys had a head start because they played last year. I didn't get to play as much, but whenever I did play, I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one game there. You played, most of the time you played defensive tackle. But you also had one game, I believe it was in Sweetwater, where the center got hurt.
We were playing Sweetwater.
Which is your natural position that you played in flag football. And so you just jumped right in there.
Yeah.
You just jumped right in there. And, I mean, the snaps were really good. They were better than when you were playing flag football. I was like, wow, his snaps have gotten a lot better.
Yeah, let me tell you how it happened. So I think it's like about third, fourth quarter, if I'm correct.
Yep.
I've been doing my stuff all game. Been having back and forth with the lineman in front of me. Then on a play, I see our center go down. They take him over to the sideline. I hear something about the arm being hurt, which if you're a center, not a place you want to get hurt at.
Right.
So one of the coaches comes and brings me over to the side. He asked me, "Hey, have you played center before?" And I go, "Yes, I had a few years experience." And he goes, "All right." And then he asked me to do some practice snaps. So I get down there, did 2 snaps, and he said that I was good to go in. So then I just played at center for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it was a close game, too.
Yeah, it was.
We ended up getting the win in the end.
Yeah, and you were pulling double duty because you were having to go playing from center and then right back into defense playing defensive tackle.
It was tiring, especially at the end.
Oh, man, that is what we called back in the day Ironman football.
Yep.
I did the same thing when I was playing. I played guard and then I played linebacker. Very exhausting. But
in the end, we got the win.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Watch you grow throughout the season. Watch you get a little faster. You were very slow in the beginning, but then towards the end of the season, you were getting faster. You were getting a little more agile. And I think you're going to be good coming in the next year. Right now, you have transitioned from football. You went to off season for a little bit.
Lifted weights.
And now you're going into
track.
All right.
I'm going to be throwing.
You're going to be throwing. You're going to be doing discus and what else?
Shot put.
And shot put. All right. So that's a little bit of what's been going on. That's why we've been gone for a while. And then after his season was over, the holidays kind of hit. We had a couple of things going on life-wise. And then in January, we started talking about bringing the show back. And then you started talking about bringing it in this format. And so we had to completely redesign everything.
Yes.
We had to get a table. We had to get new microphone stands. We had to design this up here because we wanted to put it on the TV. And then we have our little get up here, which for me, I've got to have my man. Oh, hell yeah. Right in front. Stone Cold Steve Austin with The Rock looking on. Speaking of The Rock, man, he's come back as heel Rock.
Yeah, that's
good things happening in WWE here lately, but we'll discuss that at another time. So I've got a couple of other things here. My man Jeff Gordon back with the early 90s, what we call the Dale Earnhardt Sr. mustache. You want to look like Dale Earnhardt. It's kind of a little quirky right here, but I like my little Jeff Gordon. 2020 Los Angeles Dodgers World Series trophy, a couple of Dallas Cowboys rings, and then another Jeff Gordon car. And you got some stuff over there.
Yeah.
What you got?
I got this Chase Elliott 2020 championship car.
Yeah.
Got this LA Rams Super Bowl 56 ring.
Yeah.
Got this helmet that I got at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
When we went on vacation over the summer. For those of you that remember.
Yeah.
I got this LA Dodgers World Series ring, and I have a whole stadium of these little 1-inch NFL figures. They're called NFL Teammates. They're little collectibles that you can show off and stuff. And I have all of the rares I've collected over the now 11 years I've been collecting them.
11 years of collecting Teeny Mates?
Yes, I have many more than this.
So 11 years worth of Teeny Mates, and each pack cost about $4 a piece. And there's how many per pack?
2 per pack.
2 per pack.
Along with 2 puzzle pieces and a little guide to help
So
you.
if you were to take a guess of how many total Teeny Mates you have, what would you say?
Probably 200 something, like 200? Yeah, like 230, 220.
Let's call it 250.
Okay.
So if you divide 250 by 2, that's 125 packs at $4 a piece. You have spent well over $600. But that is your thing, Teeny Mates. Anyways, so yeah, our little setup here. So we hope you guys like it. As we do YouTube now, and then our listeners still on Spotify. I hope that you guys are still following us. We want to hear from y'all on both platforms.
Yep.
So, all right, man. Well, let's get into our first segment of this season, which is something that we watched last week. So let's go right to it. Let's talk a little bit about Super Bowl 58.
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 58, which pitted the San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Your Uncle Adrian's Kansas City Chiefs.
The at the time reigning champions.
At the time reigning champions, that's right. And so let's talk a little bit about the game going up into Super Bowl 58. I know the playoffs kind of didn't go how we thought they were going to go. I sure as heck did not expect these guys, my guys, to get put out in the first round against the Packers.
Yep.
I mean, I was expecting them not to make it all the way, but I thought for sure, hey, this is the youngest team with the youngest quarterback in the NFL. We should get past them.
Yeah.
Nope.
First ever 2 seed to be eliminated by a 7th seed.
Yeah, and that is an embarrassment.
Yeah,
that is an embarrassment.
And now the Packers have more wins in Cowboy Stadium, in playoff wins in Cowboy Stadium than the Cowboys themselves.
Yeah, and nobody was happier than our good friend down in the coastal bend of Texas, Garris Reynard.
Yep.
He's an Eagles fan, but I told him, enjoy it because your Eagles are going right out as well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And what happened 2 days later?
The Eagles got put out by the Buccaneers.
Yep.
So a team that has started hot, going undefeated. I don't remember how many games they went undefeated, but they got put out.
Yep. They started 10-1 and lost 5 of their last 6.
Yeah. And so 2 teams who had been 1-2 in the NFC East all year long got put out. Buccaneers moved on, and so did the Packers. And then on the other side, we had Kansas City, who was actually a wild card this year, right?
Yes, they were the 3 seed.
They were the 3 seed, but they were playing the wild card game, and their first game was against
the Miami Dolphins in the 4th coldest NFL game ever.
Yeah, that was a miserable game. Just watching it, and wow, man! And then when Mahomes' helmet broke,
Yeah, Mahomes.
how crazy was that?
Yeah. Andy Reid's mustache froze over.
Andy Reid's mustache froze over. I'm not going to say with what it froze over, but you guys can kind of figure out because the mustache is right here, and then right above that is this. And that's what was frozen on his mustache. So the Chiefs beat the Dolphins, and then the next week they go and play at
Buffalo.
Bills Mafia, and they take him out too.
Yep. This is like the 3rd or 4th time now they've eliminated them in the playoffs.
Yep. So they take out Buffalo, and then the week after that, they travel up to
Baltimore,
which is not, I'm not going to say second favorite, but it's a team that I like in the AFC. It's just the Ravens. I thought, well, the Cowboys are out, so let's see if the Ravens go on to the next round or go to the Super Bowl. Nope, didn't happen.
Nope.
So, and then on the other side, you had the San Francisco 49ers who had the first the wild card week. They had a bye.
Yep.
And then the week after that, they took on
who did they? Oh, the Green Bay
Packers. That's right. And Green Bay actually made them struggle.
Yeah.
There at one point, I thought that Green Bay was going to beat the 49ers.
No.
I really did.
There was a pivotal field goal that Green Bay missed late in the game.
Yep.
That came back to bite them in the end.
Yep. Yep. And so they gave them a good run, but San Francisco ended up moving. And then on the other side, you had Detroit playing Buccaneers.
Yep. That was a close game there at the end.
It was a close game at the end. And then but finally, after so many years, Detroit moved on
to the NFC
to
Championship.
NFC Championship game again. And then in that NFC Championship game, they were just totally dismantling the 49ers.
It was 24-7 at halftime.
Yep. And I thought, man, it looks like the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl. But then again, I told you, don't ever count out a team because things can change in the second half. And I will say this. The Lions were running the ball all over the place against the 49ers. And I believe it was Jahmyr Gibbs who fumbled the ball in the second half. And for whatever reason, they decided to get away from the running game. And they couldn't do anything after that. And San Francisco kept getting the ball and kept going down there and scoring. And then they ended up winning the game to go to the Super Bowl. And then on the other side, Kansas City really didn't let Baltimore do anything. They just kind of canceled out Lamar Jackson.
Yep. They didn't really do much, either team, really. But in the end, Kansas City ended up winning. So
Yeah, Kansas City ended up winning, and they won the AFC Championship. The 49ers won the NFC Championship, which everybody knows that. And then came Super Bowl 58. And we were watching the game, and that game was a back-and-forth defensive game in the beginning. You kept saying about how boring the game was.
Yeah.
And you kept comparing it to a game that happened a few years ago between
the Patriots and the Rams, Super Bowl 53.
Yep, and that was a very defensive game. That was a good game. To me, defensive games are good, just because of the fact that they go back and forth. It's okay. I mean, I like team scoring, but sometimes it just kind of gets ridiculous. But a defensive game is good. So that's how Super Bowl 58 started. The 49ers were not letting the Kansas City Chiefs really do anything, and vice versa. The Chiefs weren't letting the 49ers do anything. They kind of exchanged turnovers there in the beginning. And not a lot happened in the first half. And then the second half started.
Yeah, and things started to get interesting for me there, finally. Yeah.
Yep. So the Kansas City Chiefs started moving the ball a little more, but so did the 49ers. And we had a back and forth. And in the end, the 49ers had the lead, gave the ball back to the Kansas City Chiefs at the end of the game. Kansas City came back, tied the game, and they went into
overtime.
That's right. So they went into overtime, and then for whatever reason, I don't understand it, but you're going to the coin toss, and the rules have changed. So this year, the rules were that both teams were going to get a shot at the football.
Yeah.
So if the first team, whoever got the ball first, went and scored a touchdown, the other team was still going to get a shot.
And that was all because of the Chiefs.
Right. But my point being this is the 49ers win the coin toss. They had their choice of kicking the football or receiving the football. In retrospect, they should have kicked the football. They should have made Kansas City go first to see what Kansas City was going to do.
Yep.
They didn't do that. They decided to take the ball. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Are they really going to take the ball first? And then if you're hearing clips of after the Super Bowl was over, you hear clips of Mahomes running to the sideline, and he's like, bro, they want the ball. They want the ball. They can have the ball.
They can have it all they want.
Yeah, they can have it all they want. I mean, they were like, really? I can't believe that they took the ball. So they took the ball, and then so San Francisco ended up getting the ball. Kicking off was Kansas City. San Francisco drove down, and they chewed up a lot of the clock. But in the end, they ended up just basically kicking a field goal to go up 3 points. And then they gave the ball to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep, and they just drove that thing down the field. They
started driving down the field. And the thing is that San Francisco had them on a couple of fourth downs. And both times, Mahomes ended up saying, I'm the man. I'm keeping the ball. I'm running, and I'm picking the first down.
Yep.
And he did. And he drove them all the way down there. And then they get into the red zone.
Yep.
And then we hear this.
First and goal at the 3. Lining up in the clock at 10 seconds and ticking. In the shotgun, Mahomes. 4-man front, receiver in motion, low snap. He runs and he throws, caught, touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won. The Chiefs have won. The entire bench empties. Chasing Mahomes in the end zone. Their third Super Bowl in 5 years. The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions. It is a dynasty. The Chiefs have won Super Bowl 58. They're the first team to repeat in almost 20 years. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. As the confetti flies on the San Francisco side, stunned silence. Shocked.
All right, so that was the call. Kevin Harlan on CBS Radio talking about the play that ended up winning Kansas City the Super Bowl, which made them a back-to-back champion, Super Bowl champions, since when?
2004, when the New England Patriots went back-to-back.
2004, when the New England Patriots went back-to-back. And then there was another thing that he said in there, that is a dynasty.
Yes, that is certainly a dynasty.
So this is the third Super Bowl that they've won in how many years?
5 years.
5 years. So
yes,
Patrick Mahomes has taken them to the promised land 3 times in 5 years. So making them a dynasty, which they will join the ranks of the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 1970s with the steel curtain, joining the 1980s dynasty of the San Francisco 49ers. And then in the 90s, the dynasty that was a team who won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, that is my boys,
the Dallas
Cowboys. And then you had the dynasty of the 2000s, which was
the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Really the 2010s as well.
Yeah. And now you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. Mahomes is Mahomes. Man, what a quarterback.
Yep. I say they're team of the decade already.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're team of the decade. But you know what? Oh, man. I know your Uncle Adrian is enjoying this because he was a Chiefs fan for a long time.
5 years ago, they had 1 Super Bowl.
Yep.
And now they're a dynasty.
Yep.
It's crazy to think about that.
Yep. And so he watched that team struggle for a lot of years. Now they won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. And they are the Kansas City Chiefs, the newest dynasty, who are saying that they're going to run it back.
Yep.
They want to be the first team ever to win 3 Super Bowls back to back to back. The Cowboys had their chance in the 90s, but we know what happened with that. We had a split in the marriage between Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, and that kind of threw a wrench into the system. Barry Switzer came in and won the Super Bowl after that, but, I mean, it was what it was. But now the Kansas City Chiefs really have a good opportunity to go back to back to back.
Yep, they definitely have the potential to, but, man.
So, really good game.
Yep.
Really good game with the Kansas City Chiefs winning Super Bowl 58, third Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yep.
So now we've got to wait a little while before we get another Super Bowl to get to watch another Super Bowl.
Yep.
Which is Super Bowl 59, which will be played where?
In New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
Yep. I hope my Rams have a chance to go to at least make it farther than this past year. Because I'm like, earlier this year, in the season, honestly, I think they were the most surprising team of the season.
Yeah.
Because going into their bye week, they were 3-6.
Yeah.
They were 3-6, and then they went on and won 7 of their last 8. Went on, played that very good game against the Lions in the wild card round, but fell 1 point short. Yeah, I just hope they can make it farther next year.
Yeah, well, you hope that they will make it, and I hope that my Cowboys make it too. But we'll see what happens. We got a couple of things happening before the season get going again. We will have the NFL draft coming up in April, and we'll see what teams do. Everybody's got a need. We'll see what all the teams end up doing. We'll see what the Carolina Panthers do this year.
The Panthers? Why the
In the
Panthers?
draft.
Why the Panthers? Really? really, I'm like, I think it's what can the Bears do in the draft this year? Because they have the number 1 pick.
They do. They have the number 1 pick. Are they going to keep Justin Fields, or are they going to let him move on, trade him away, and then pick up another quarterback? I don't know. But you got a good class of quarterbacks coming in. You got Jaden Daniels from LSU, and then you had the kid up from Washington, and then there was another quarterback in there from
Caleb
Oregon.
Williams is in there too.
Oh yeah, Caleb Williams from USC. Yeah, really good quarterback. They're saying that he might be going number 1. But you have Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr. From Washington,
Bo Nix
from Oregon. Yep, Bo Nix is a little older than that, but you'll have really some good choices to pick from quarterback in the beginning of the draft. So that will be coming up in April. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what teams will do in the NFL draft. And we'll talk about that when that time comes around. So as we go through the show, every episode, we will try to discuss a little bit of everything. Today, we just kind of wanted to do our kickoff show for the second season. We wanted to just focus on Super Bowl 58 and the Kansas City Chiefs winning their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. We wanted to keep this short and kind of get your thoughts, comments on, is 30 minutes good enough for this show? Do we want to go an hour like we used to do on Spotify? That was because that was audio. So people are more willing to listen. But when you start watching video, it's not as much. So if there's a good place in between the hour, 30 minutes, if 30 minutes is good, let us know. If you want a little more, let us know. 1 hour on the audio was good for the people who listen to the audio, but let's see what works for these 2 platforms, as we are going to do both at the same time. We're recording video and also audio at the same time. So we will go through the next couple of weeks talking about different sports. And next week, we will come back and talk a little bit about the MLB as spring training is kicking off and our Dodgers are getting ready to go into spring training, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to go into spring training, so we'll talk a little bit about that now that the NFL season is over. NBA is going on as well. NHL is going on as well. We always talk about those sports, NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL. We try to hit everything. We even talk about WWE, wrestling. We talk a little bit about that. We try to touch any sports, soccer, anything that's a sport that is worth talking about. We will hit it. And as well, we also do some segments in there. We didn't do any this episode, but we will bring those segments back. Let's play a game, where we ask several different types of questions. We also will have quotes of the week with the DOS Man. We also have fact of the day. We will also have this day in sports history. Well, just all kinds of different segments. And like I said, this is a show between a father and son talking sports, all about everything and anything. But coming up as well, what I want to talk a little bit about before we go on is we're going through school, and because we are launching the Bloodline Sports YouTube channel, you were asking people to subscribe, and it kind of threw it into a challenge, which that is going to be what kind of challenge?
Yep. Well, first of all, the challenge was to get us to 50 subscribers by the end of the week, which in retrospect, it did not take that long at all. It took less than 2 hours. 2 hours. So now we're at like 53, 51 at the recording of this video.
Yeah,
so now
53.
Yep. This upcoming Tuesday, I am going to get a bucket of ice, cold ice water, dumped all over me as I attempt the ice bucket challenge.
Right, because you told your classmates if we get to 50 subscribers, I will do the ice bucket challenge, which is done for the Alzheimer's disease. But you decided to do that, so next Tuesday we will record that and we will upload it on our channel. So your classmates will have a good time watching you get dunked.
I won't be having a good time though. Cold water and ice.
Yeah.
Well,
I am going to enjoy that as well. I don't know. I may be the one dumping the bucket over you, so that may be even more enjoyable.
That's what I was thinking of, having you dunk the water on me.
Yeah. All right, so all you guys, all of the Dossman's classmates, watch for that on Tuesday. We will record that on Tuesday. We will upload it on Tuesday. You guys can watch him get dunked by an ice water and a bucket of ice in water. The Ice Bucket Challenge. Because we got 50 subscribers. And again, hey, if you like the show, please hit the like and subscribe button at the bottom. Again, leave comments, questions. We will have a Facebook set up shortly where you guys can ask questions. You can give us a comments on what kind of sports or any topics that you want us to talk about. If you want us to give you a shout out, we can as well. But hey, man, I really enjoyed this first show. I think it's a good thing that we're doing now, going into audio and video. It was good, man.
Yeah,
it was good. So, with that, hey, let's wrap it up.
All right.
This was Bloodline Sports, Episode 1, Season 2. We enjoyed bringing it to you. We hope you enjoy it. And as always, you're my pride and joy, and I love you. And this is Bloodline Sports. It's all relative.
Goodbye, everyone.